that down. Oh, nope, there we go.
Oh,
Alright. Can everyone hear me?
currently waiting for the audio to catch up. Not. Yep. Okay, now I hear you.
Alright, can you hear yourself?
Let me see. Yep, I can hear myself. So now I'm gonna mute the stream.
Alright.
Hello. Okay, got everything set up.
Oh, no, that one. Oh,
So how's everyone doing today?
damn it! My setup decided to break as soon as I went live. Yay! Okay. Alright, there we go. Now you should be able to see what's planned. Got a little bit of some fun game music in there, a little bit of DoubleShake music.
The only downside is on my end, from what I could see, it is only 360p. How's everyone able to see it? Want to make sure it's all good. It's stream says it's excellent.
Alright.
Well, the settings say it's excellent.
Yeah, does Blender appear clear enough to everybody?
To me, it's not,
No?
but that might be just my end. 720p on Blade's end.
Okay. 1080.
1080. I don't know why I'm getting the lowest. Of course. 720p. Okay, yeah. If anything, you guys can change your settings in the thing. I can't. I could try refreshing the page real quick. Let's see if anything breaks when I do that.
Cool. Yeah, lower resolutions, you're not going to be able to read the text, but, I mean, stuff little widgets on the side here, but ideally after, like, the stream, I mean, as long as the stream is outputting, like, a native, a decent native resolution,
Yeah.
going out later, we'll have more details.
Yeah, we'll be editing it down to make it work. Yeah, well, my internet's really good, and normally I'm supposed to get higher for it, so it's weird. As long as people are able to get it, like, I don't know why it's not for everybody.
Yeah,
Whatever.
It's probably like YouTube.
Well, and I just try to refresh my page. If you do have lower, try to refresh your page. But it doesn't work on my end, but I'm in, like, a special version of it. I'm not in the main side.
Alright.
That being said,
Everything seems to check out.
Yeah, for the most part, it'll be good enough for government work.
Alright.
Well, let's introduce ourselves now that it's officially time. I am Liam. I am COO of Right Stick Studios and lead writer
Hi, Leo.
for DoubleShake.
Well, I'm Nick. I'm the CEO of Right Stick Studios and director, artist, bunch of shit in DoubleShake.
And
Primarily
is the
director, developer.
yeah, and is the one behind the screen that you currently see, and is currently doing the work.
Yep.
So today we are working on a model. The character's name is Spur Pricklesworth. We decided that one would be a perfectly good one to show. Will be showing up in DoubleShake. So what you see here will be in DoubleShake. This isn't just some fake model for stream purposes. This is actually in-game development. Well, in terms of Blender.
My check code. Okay.
Yep.
That messed up all my windows.
Yeah. So, before we get started, why don't you go over, like, the general, like, premise on how you, like, came up with the design?
Okay. So, I guess should we explain who he is first?
Yeah,
On
sure.
a basis. So, alright, what can we
Sorry,
do?
I kind of... I didn't rehearse this.
Yeah. So, yeah, basically I just needed he's kind of a pseudo-villain. You'll see in the game. So we needed him to be...
A foil. Not necessarily a bad guy, but
Yeah.
just a nuisance to the
Anyways.
player.
So what we were originally going with was just simply some sort of cactus theme we were going for. Something prickly. Because he takes place in a little bit more of a desert western setting. But in the end I ended up going for more of a rose bouquet. Yes, this is my OC. Do not steal.
Property, Right 6 Studios. All rights reserved.
And I mean, I guess that's kind of the gist.
Yeah, essentially.
This is like the fourth iteration of this guy.
This last version that you see here is what we've agreed upon would be fine for the 3D model. A lot of times when we design characters, we design them without the 3D model in mind and then work from there.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
I guess I can also say he's very. We need like a very dapper lad. He's very righteous and really likes order, especially in a place in the Wild West. Everything's really chaotic, but that's how it should be. And he's like, nah, we're gonna put things in order. So, anyways.
So, yeah, we'll just go ahead and get started then.
Yeah.
Let me just check the audio real quick.
Yeah, one thing I definitely went for him is I was trying to go for like kind of a bit of a effeminate, androgynous style. Wanted to do something a little bit interesting.
All right, well, at this point, you have the floor.
Alright. So first, as with every Blender file, we add the default cube. Ooh. We add the default cube, and delete the default cube. Everything starts out small, for some reason.
I gotta remember that I'm watching the stream at the delay, so when I hear you talk about what you're doing, it's not what the video's showing. At least not yet.
I'm gonna have to like eventually lose myself and forget that I'm streaming.
Well, that's why I'm here. I'm here to make sure Nick doesn't do any foibles.
Let's check for something about that. So these characters are a little bit highish poly. We go for something that's a little bit more like a PS2, something that we're still indies and I'm used to low poly stuff. So I always start with
Well, there's a difference between low resolution and low quality.
yeah. I just mean like it's not like your ZBrush models of the quality.
Yeah.
Something I can manage with in low poly, but it's enough so you kind of get this nice smoothness and it looks crisp. Because in Engine they will be flattened and start to look more like sprites.
Blade said, no spouting off your credit card information as you usually do when you get to work, I'm sure.
Liam always makes me spout it off when I get in the door.
Hey, Dream Kazoo. Kazoo is one of our team members.
Devin Chat.
Devin Chat. has helped us with a lot of the concept art and design work. To be fair, in terms of our poly count, yes, we do kind of break the rules on how much polys we have for our models, but it actually still falls within certain guidelines. Y'all are pretty quiet. Can you boost your volume a bit? Says Kazoo. I thought I was sounding pretty good. I just checked my the audio from the stream. I think I sound pretty fine. Is it Nick that is the main issue?
Up a little higher. Does that sound any better? Yeah, Kazoo, maybe it was just your volume.
I could hear it now that you finally spoke up.
Yeah.
You are a little quiet at that point.
Am I still a little quiet?
Let's see here. Especially with the music in the background.
Alright, yeah, let me bump it down a little bit more. Keep it more background stuff. Juggling a bunch of windows on my other screen. There we go. Alright.
Song is in the corner there. You could read what whatever song is playing.
And this one's should usually scroll a little bit.
It's from Deltarune.
It's a metal covered by Rich Shad EB.
Okay, I think our audio is about good.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the low poly situation. Yeah, we still follow within the limitations. The only rule is that when we try to reduce as many polygons if possible without it being completely terrible. Just within certain models. Of course, for a big, important character like this, we actually focus on higher poly models. More characters have higher overall. While objects is... Yeah, audio's better. Cool. Objects are typically much slower, because just generally it looks better for objects to look that way. It's really just a give and take depending on what we need. Of course, using the proper shaders and proper methods make sure that we maintain consistency overall.
I think I'm gonna need another window here, so I know what it is looking up for the front. I know I'm kind of a really a little bit naughty at making some of these models, because I know probably your standard 3D modeler has like a whole turnaround, so they could just I keep forgetting to do that. Keep forgetting I'll try to do that.
Hey, I mean, to be fair, I spent a lot of time working on my model in areas I shouldn't be working on my model, like animation.
Right.
Oh, you keep shaking it.
Yeah, I know. I'm like moving it over and holding it, and it's saying, "Oh, you want to replace your." I'm not used to doing this. No, anyways, I mean, considering if it's in the case that I designed, stop it.
You could put the picture of him on the stream side, the software. That way, it's always up no matter what.
Yeah, usually just. So usually like have like my references on my other screen here, but I'm juggling like 4 windows at once. Yeah, I don't need to see my window media player. Okay. No.
As you could tell, we are professionals. We stream quite frequently.
I am a noob streamer. Hello.
In fact, isn't this like your main first stream?
No. I mean, we. No, it's not. No, I like years and years and years ago, I did ARC streams every now and then.
Okay, fair enough.
So it's just been a while.
Yeah, we're rusty. We're just happy to be here and doing this for people.
Part of if I whistle, it's a side effect of good music.
So as of right now, he's just kind of forming the head. Yeah, I would try to not whistle, Nick.
I mean, I will accidentally whistle, and if people start saying, Nick, that is annoying, please stop, then I will do my best.
Yeah, Kazoo streams way more. Kazoo does a lot of other projects, by the way. Great. You do great work, honestly. You have a lot of projects that you work on, and you're always a great asset to those.
He never tells me that.
Oh, Nick, you know I care about you.
Just trying to get in the groove here. No. Smooth. Yeah. Okay. We're getting somewhere.
Hi there. How are you doing?
Hey, Ray! This definitely needs to be more forward.
We got some new fans, some old fans, and all around great fans.
They're all pretty great. Listen, it's a process. Eventually, you'll see where I'm going here. This is one of those characters I try to see in 3D so much, but then I'm like, there needs to be something over here. Perhaps. Maybe. Might be fine.
Yo, I'm liking the shape of this onion.
He's very onion-esque so far.
I like Kazoo says I like how the music becomes super quiet randomly depending on the track.
Well, because no one like normalizes their volume, so some like songs I get are like really loud and some are really quiet, and it's just like, guys, I'm not gonna pop open a video, an audio editor just to make sure every one of my songs is.
I threw up a.
Oh no. Well,
yeah.
I can't answer that one.
I just wanted to throw it up to.
Not, like necessarily legally or anything, but.
I mean, we admit we take inspiration from all three of the games.
To me, it's a little bit of everything.
And honestly, that's the most important part about it.
This man is very oniony.
There should be an answer that's just yes.
No, I don't want my help. Maybe if this is a little more.
Well, to answer it yes, then all you have to do is even them out. Make sure no one is on top. So there you go. Yes, the fun part about watching just moving independent vertices. But this is essentially just how it goes. Especially for a character or model that has like no major bases to start out with. It takes time like this.
I'm making good progress though. This is probably going to be one of the worst parts about it. Just getting this face going.
Yeah. Jolly, you really need to play more of these games.
Maybe we'll just freestyle this one.
Be right back, I'm craving some onions now for some reason. Fair. Strangely enough, white onions, in particular.
He has like this other one kind of like splits off to kind of quote unquote reveal some sort of face.
Have we played the Klonoa remake? I haven't.
I have
to be fair, we played a good chunk of both the games recently for testing purposes.
I haven't yet though.
Some of our team members have already like completed the game, has it, and all that. I personally, I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Klonoa. I get it, and I do
We
like
tried firing over it, but HR wouldn't have it.
Yeah, I'm more of a Tomba fan. That's my main thing. I like Tomba way more. But Klonoa is kind of on my third tier of these games. Sorry, fans. That's just my opinion.
I mean, with a game like this, it's just gonna happen.
Yeah. I'm just glad that we have 3 games that we could rely on for references and ideas that are honestly great.
They all have their merits.
Exactly. Tomba has such a great, massive world that I like. Klonoa has great, like, raw mechanics that I enjoy. And Mischief Makers, well, it's got heart. Yeah, Kazoo's a much bigger fan of Klonoa. In fact, I think is like Kazoo's favorite out of the three. Honestly, not many of the team actually plays Tomba, so I'm kind of like the one of the few that does care about Tomba. So it makes up for it. My favorite in the series is Klonoa Beach Volleyball. Yeah, I've heard about that, but I've never even seen it.
Oh. Yeah, I should save.
Yes, now would be a good time to save now that you've got an onion.
There we go. There shouldn't have been any spoilers in there. All our spoilers are at least at the latter end of the alphabet.
Our final boss. Zzz.
Wait, when you told me you were sleeping on this boss, I didn't think you meant it that way.
Every other keystroke should be Control plus S. I mean, you're right. Oh man. My Tomba fans, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Boss of everyone. Everyone's boss. My boss, your boss. Big boss.
8 votes. Mischief like 1.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, when we first, like, you know, announced the game.
Well, Klonoa and Mischief tied.
Oh, I'm so, okay, yeah. Okay. I don't know how I misread those numbers. Alright. You are wrong. It's actually...
Jokes on you, it's based off of a completely French product. Wait, what if I'm my own boss? You still have a boss above that. You just don't realize it.
Yeah, one more Tomba would have made that a tie. 3-way tie. No longer
I had to go. I voted for Kodos. I can't vote because I'm the one hosting the thing, so I can't vote. I would vote Tomba, so in spirit, it's a tie. If you count my vote, but since I'm the one hosting it, I can't actually
I
vote.
think that checks out.
Thank you for that call out for the Simpsons reference. I just recently rewatched that episode. I watch Simpsons once a day now. The trick is that once you get up to later seasons, you just rewatch it again.
You know what? I'm just gonna go back to season. I've got to like season 17. Let's go back.
So that's just how it'd be. So just go back and you. It's still funny what I could still find in later episodes. I mean, early episodes.
I'm currently binging Simpsons for the first time, so I'm going to I decided I'm just gonna watch it all, or at least just keep going.
To be fair, newer season, the newest season was actually pretty good, so they're getting better. They're getting back to more of a bit better response, in my opinion. So what are you doing right now, Nick?
Well, I've gotten the face. I should probably start using color codes.
So yeah, as you can just see, we just kind of extrude out bits and just kind of shape them out. You do a bit of proportional editing to make it even between everything.
Oh, you mean like this? I don't know what you mean by proportional editing.
When you use the proportional tool.
Symmetrize?
No. The button at the top. It's hard. I can't.
You mean this? Oh, yeah.
I can't really explain it to you because there's like a delay in the stream. So when you're like, "Oh, with this," and like you're waiting for me to answer, I'm like, "Well, because I can't see anything until later."
I also like don't really like look at the name of this very often, so.
Yeah.
Yes, this just helps make things smooth instead of having to edit every single one of these vertices. Mirror helps, symmetrize.
When it comes to making new characters, we typically follow a rule of trying to make their silhouette look most recognizable. So when we came up with Spur here, we just try to make it unique enough that you could tell with just black and white who is that character.
I'm like a huge stickler for silhouettes. That's why all my like characters have a hoges.
Which makes it think that that goes against it, but it works. The only way we don't do that is when we is like for basic characters that don't matter too hard.
Oh,
but even then, we typically at least give a lot of options. So it happens.
Bold.
So just for now, getting some base colors in, not doing real texture work, just get an idea what it should look like right now. Can you write his name? I'm kinda deaf. Spur Pricklesworth? It's literally on the title of the video. Which, I'm the one who came up with the Pricklesworth part of the name.
Yeah, it's like I like to give characters like pun names. Wait. Open my pick. Thunder. Oh, right. I got real confused for a second there. Alright, yeah, now you can see what the heck's going on.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, later when we get to textures, you'll be able to see a little bit more. It goes into actually making this guy look a little bit more pronounced. Uh-oh. I forgot to lock the cat out. Hopefully she doesn't become a problem.
Hey, thanks for being around. Don't forget, we're going to edit this down and be available for easier consumption later. So wait for the edit to come around.
Yeah, bye.
Sometimes we have to cut it by hand. For this particular shape, because it's already rounded and we need like a very defined area, we have to cut it by hand. There are some ways of getting around that, but honestly, just sometimes doing it by hand works. Consume the onion.
Alright. We can start probably moving to the neck bit.
I'm strangely at 360p still. That's weird.
Alright, how do I want to... Let's take one of these. Cat, you stay out of trouble.
Yeah, some shape bits just are weird, and it's hard to define exactly what they should look like.
This one's a little bit funny. Supposed to wrap around the collar here.
I guess Boolean and stencil shapes might work fine if you have less accuracy like me. Yeah, sometimes I do use Boolean, but the problem with Boolean is that you don't get a clean vertice out of it. I mean, you do when you in one way, but you don't get to control the vertices when you do that. A trick that Nick is using sometimes is using symmetry to make it look like that it's clean, when in actuality it's off-centered and wrong. But it's off-centered and wrong for every side, so it works. Plus, no one will notice the small little details over the overall issue.
That is one really nice thing about the DoubleShake style. It's like...
once you throw it into Engine, no one can tell that there's even a mistake in anything.
Yeah, I try to make these look as clean as I can, but...
Tumblr Club currently likes the current song.
Gee, I wonder why. What game was this from again? It's like on the tip of my tongue. Other than that...
By the way, the song names are not showing up. Yeah, I thought it's currently showing Kirby and the Forgotten. It's weird.
Oh, maybe because I think it's because I minimized the window.
Oh.
My bad. Okay. Oh yeah, it's Tuba 2. I knew it was Tuba 2, of course.
Oh right, that game. Oops. There it goes. Sorry about that, folks. It only took a real Tomba fan to call it out.
There we go.
So another point on like us using a bit more vertices than you would expect. A point to that is if you look at like his cut lines, there's extra vertice points in the cut lines that you could theoretically remove, and it would clean up just fine. But we don't need to bother too hard about like every little detail. In a lot of our models, if you compare our models to older games, they would have backsides removed and like not complete models. Just whatever is visible to camera is the most important part.
Well, not really for characters here.
Well, not for characters. I'm
Right.
saying in general.
Right.
However, for since we are working on more modern systems, we have the freedom to make bigger, more expensive models, if you will, and it doesn't actually affect anything. And we still get a decent chunk of results out of all our testing so far.
Here comes a bass song. Bumping that one up. Alright. We start working on his body now.
Time for the body check.
Alright, what do I want to start with this body? This one's gonna be tough. He's pretty... See, I usually like to start with base shapes, just to keep it simpler. So let's start with another sphere. No, I want the object.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
It's just taking care of a little business. Nothing major. Now, when it comes to body, I typically use an interesting method of taking a single vertice and making a stick figure and then solidifying it and then working from that. And that's a good way to get a base model set up, but obviously for something more specific, Nick is using his technique of starting with a sphere that has enough vertices to work from.
The shape very much depends on what I'm doing. Most of the time I would do a cylinder or something, or if they have a neck, I'll work from that. But he doesn't have that. Oh, actually, here's something I'm going to want to do. Well, get this shaped out in general. And then I'll start working a little bit more normally. Because I've been kind of going a little bit unhinged with freestyle, I guess.
Was this song Calico Coast Act 2 in the first demo, Nick?
Nope.
I don't remember. No.
This song starts to take place a little bit after the demo ends. So you'll hear this song in the final game. I think it might be a little too breasty.
It'd be kind of nice if you had a reference sheet on the stream. If not possible, could you ping us the image at the top of chat? Okay.
Yeah, normally, because I'm working from two screens here, so I don't have a good spot to put it on the...
Well, I was saying you could go into OBS and add an image of him.
Oh no, you're right, yeah.
That's what I was trying to say earlier, but copy link.
Yeah, I'll do that real quick.
There's also, here's a link for anyone to... I'll pin the message at the top so everyone can see it. But honestly, on the left side with the secondary model views, most people don't really need to worry about that too much.
Just a little something about them left. Get a general idea of what we're doing here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a little bit bigger, but yeah. That'll do just fine.
Alright. Alright, I guess since I have this kind of figured out, it's a little bit different here. Bye-bye. And here.
So, if anyone's like making any models, symmetry is your favorite thing in the world. That's one of my biggest tips.
Yeah, now I just... Alright, so we're gonna make his pointy...
Symmetry and mirror mod.
Yeah,
it's the same thing,
mod.
essentially.
So this guy is really abstract, so I'm a little bit able to get away with a little bit more here. Normally I try to keep characters a little bit more solid, connected. But this guy is just like mishmash.
This is Spur Pricklesworth. He is going to be. He is the head of the HOA.
He is actually he is the head of the HOA, Homeowners Association.
In an area in DoubleShake, and this is a model that will be put into DoubleShake.
He's
so
a little bit more about him actually to explain why he looks the way he does. So in DoubleShake there are a certain brand of creatures called the idols. They are essentially golems, but they are like living, breathing, sentient, and everything. And Pricklesworth here is one of them. Idols were often made by like wizards of the old heyday, but in DoubleShake's time, idols are got like their own. They're masterless now. And so, like, Pricklesworth was originally made by some sort of powerful wizard to be his servant, which is why he's very butlerly looking. And he cares a lot about order and cleanliness and organization and stuff. So, and he's like, yeah, you know, this crappy little town, it needs some order. And that's what he does for the most part. It's like gonna be a little bit lower actually.
And of course, to anyone that's ever experienced an HOA in their life,
you can guess what kind of character he's gonna be.
Yeah. For those who don't know what an HOA is, a homeowner association is a group of people who work off of a group of neighborhood, usually more middle class or upper, where they set rules for the whole neighborhood that everyone has to follow. Like, oh, your mailbox has to look like this. You have to make sure that you keep your grass mowed. You can only water your lawn at this time. No excessive noise. Don't do this. Don't do that. It's a lot of that. A lot of politics. It's essentially the lowest level of politician that you could find.
It's like local law enforcement.
And not even local law enforcement. It's just as small as possible in terms of that.
Right.
A lot of people who go into that kind of thing just like doing it for power.
They like
not saying that
it's the ideal of like I want to keep my property at its highest possible value. So I don't want these other low life neighbors doing this crap and making my house or our houses look like reducing value.
Yeah.
So there's kind of like a little bit of intent behind it, but yeah, it's not always very great.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of HOA members, local law enforcement. Yeah, yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
Alright.
Honestly, I think it's best summed up from an American Dad episode where Roger becomes head of HOA and just abuses his power.
I think I remember that one, yeah.
It's really good.
Let's get some more colors.
So, yeah, to make the lapel as what Nick is showing, just to go over it real quickly, he took a couple vertices cuts that he wanted, and then just extruded out horizontally, and just pulled out faces accordingly, and just adjusted the vertices as needed, and it looks like a nice little area. Maybe all he needs is a hug. Okay, go hug the rose bush. Come back and see me afterwards and see how well that worked. By the way, Right 6 Studios does not endorse hugging a rose bush.
Do not do this at home.
Do not do this at home.
Yeah, it was fun to go with like the cat. There's like the first few iterations were very more. I'm going to switch this music back down. It's a good song, but it's getting a little bit distracting. Anyways, yeah. So originally it was more of a cactus theme because of the desert and everything. We already had a lot of cactuses going on in the game.
We got multiple cactus themed situations moving forward that it was just a bit too much.
Now all these colors are actually very temporary. It's mostly just to give me just being able to look at it and say, yeah, that's a thing. I'm making something.
It's interesting that you use so many different materials.
It's temporary.
Alright,
It's
fair
just
enough.
I just coloring. I'm slathering on like just some temp colors. When we get to texturing, this will all get knocked down into like one.
Fair enough. The good part about doing it like this is that you could just go to any color area and just select all of it, and then assign it to the texture sheet quite easily.
Yeah. It's I've done it a couple of times. It's pretty straightforward.
The only problem I have with this is that it does leave a bunch of empty textures in the file, but that could be easily pruned out later.
These aren't textures.
Well, a material file, it still technically has.
And it gets pruned anyway. Whatever.
Yeah.
When I save the Blender file, and they're not attached to anything, Blender's gonna auto prune them.
Strangely enough, that doesn't happen as much with my files. I don't know why.
It is kind of a little bit random. Sometimes Blender's like, you know what, you're not using this, but I'm gonna keep it anyway.
I think I have a weird like wood normalized picture in my files that keep on just showing up everywhere, even though I don't use it. I don't know why.
Oh man, he's starting to look really nice.
I really do like where this is going.
Like, these are the zones I was worried about the most, but it's going pretty smooth so far. Let's get these. This will come in handy later to mark seams. That's mostly because I can just select this entire group by itself. And when we get to texturing, that'll come in handy.
I just want to say thank you all for joining us and watching. Please give a like if you enjoying this so far. That'd be a big help. I love seeing these numbers. We currently got a good solid 10 to 9, 11 views constantly. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Not bad. It's overnight!
Make a Loam action figure articulate with a shotgun. She would use a shotgun. That is definitely.
Don't say that.
You don't think that she would use a shotgun?
Maybe it's our only option, but.
I mean, if
No,
we're talking
actually,
like,
my concern isn't would she use a shotgun. It's could she use a shotgun?
I feel like she could.
She's smart. She'll figure it out.
And remember to smash that bell, fam. Thank you, Kazoo, for that call out. The music stopped. I'm hearing Sonic 06 music, and it's still on Klonoa.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep on minimizing it. I keep forgetting it does that.
I think one of my earliest characters designs actually had a sawed-off shotgun for the fun of it, for no reason. I'm not even like a gun person, I just think that having a sawed-off shotgun was funny.
I think for the heck of it, I'm gonna just hand model this tie. So sometimes I'll just...
Oh, I backed this game so I could hook up my friend with the demo. He's a huge Toomba head and really enjoys all your work. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
But could she fire the shock round into the background? I don't think so. I think that's her biggest. I think that's her biggest weakness. Turning around and shooting.
Yo, Spyro music.
What? Tomba Club? You backed the game too? I can't believe it. Thank you so much.
Tuba Club backing a Tuba-inspired video game. That doesn't seem in character.
Actually, so the interesting thing is, when I originally pitched the game to Nick for us to do, it was actually pitched as a Mischief Makers game.
It was basically like Liam was bugging me for a whole year. He's like, Nick, I want to make a Mischief Makers game. I was like, I don't know, maybe, I guess. And then eventually I said, okay, you know what? Let's sit down and let's talk about it. What would we actually do? And we talked about it, and one of the things I said was, if we're going to be doing a Mischief Makers, like, spiritual successor, it needs to be a little bit more than Mischief Makers. Mischief Makers is great, it looks great, but I feel like it would benefit if we pulled from other games and build off of the grab and throw and shake stuff. So that's when I suggested Klonoa and Tomba. And then I'm like, you know what? This is good.
And the funny part is, a lot of people probably think, oh, we purposely made Loam based off of Tomba, Klonoa, or Mischief Makers. But the funniest part is, all three of those games were not the inspiration for Loam herself.
So
she came around before that.
So after we decided, okay, so we have this theoretical Mischief Makers Klonoa Tomba successor, who would our hero be? And we're like, well, we need someone who exudes, like, you know, we like the idea of, like, the whole mischief, chaos, and just all that caveman energy. And I actually looked at a couple of OCs of mine that I just had floating around. I'm like, you know, at the very least, like, I just like, maybe I have someone I could use that's just is our character. And there was like one other character I was looking at that was like runner up, but then we're like, Loam.
Loam started out as an antagonist to Dinks.
Yeah,
oddly enough.
In a different game, I was coding a couple years ago. So that was really funny. And then they just became best friends. I still want to do, like, because the game will imply that, like, there's a little bit of history between the two, in which, yes, Loam was just, like, kind of a foil, as Liam put, to Dinks for a while. Yeah, they kind of got off on the wrong foot, but then they started like, hey, actually, you're pretty cool. So they kind of became friends.
I wouldn't really call Loam evil. She's just chaotic.
Misguided. I do want to tell that story, like, post, like, you know, DoubleShake release, especially if the game sells well. I would love to tell more stories with the characters in the game. Yeah, Loam's still kind. Loam sounds technically still good.
Yeah, she's
evil,
not.
But
she's not good either. She's who she is. She's Loam. She's honestly within the realm of what I call chaotic neutral.
She's very chaotic neutral.
She tries to do the best because that's what she wants, not because she has to.
How do I want to do this? I gotta cross all these vertices. Maybe that'll do.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the knife tool as Nick is.
So this is the way I just in this game. This is the way I just color things.
Honestly, it's interesting because I personally have not seen him do this before, so I don't know how he does it. So it's interesting to watch.
I don't really stream to even the team members often. I mean, like, little bits, but I never streamed like a whole process of this before. There we go. I like that. And we'll do it from the back. I really don't need to worry about this being perfect. That does the trick. Ugh.
It's funny because I originally taught Nick how to use Blender, and
Did you?
Originally, when the newest editions came out,
you did. Yeah, you taught me some of the tricks of some of the newer versions. Yeah.
And then you instantly like really picked it up, and honestly, is a way better, especially in characters, than I can ever be. I personally like making, and I think that's just the difference between us, because I personally like making objects more than characters. But you're just really good at making characters, so.
And that's kind of what I've poured my, like, whole life into the learning, so yeah.
Yeah.
Have this kind of pop out a little bit. Back is fine. The fun part, the way the characters are, since they're just like, you know, pre-rendered, or pseudo pre-rendered, is that you don't really see the backs often. Certain situations, yeah, so I still make sure that, you know, there is a back. but for the most part, I don't really have to worry about the back. I mean, occasionally there are some characters who will have looking into the background animations, but we don't just actually rotate them. Just not like it's not like an actual like 3D. At least not in presentation.
However, at least if anyone ever notices, technically they are 3D models in game.
They're still 3D models in game.
We do a very fun method where we actually flatten the characters. They're not completely flat.
They're as
not
flat as like you can possibly make them. In order to just like you play the game, you look at them, they're flat.
If you the camera makes it impossible for you to see it from normal view, but if you actually looked at them in engine from the side, they are pretty darn flat and pretty funny looking. But we do it that way to very enforce the idea that they're sprites when they're not. Because it's easier, it's honestly way easier for us to keep the animation and everything consistent.
So
if we keep them in 3D models.
Yeah. So the deal is, in the original Kickstarter demo, they were all, and when I say all, I mean there's like 2-3 enemies in Loam. We did actually do the pre-rendered thing. We actually I took all the animations one by one, and I went through Blender, exported them as individual PNGs, and then laid them back out in Unity. But when it came to the prospect that we'd have a bunch of characters, like what we have, like I forget what the cast is at about now. It's big.
It's a big roster now.
I'm ballpark. I've looked at my list several times. I want to say ballpark, there's probably about 80 characters. Not including all the normies, which are now, modular. And so, we can't do this anymore. And so I poured, a couple months into working on tech and shaders in order to make sure it still looked pre-rendered. I couldn't get them to look like all pixely and stuff. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with that model.
Yeah, there are some good things I do miss about that model. I get what you're saying, but for Loam. But unfortunately there was a few errors and her silhouette was not very well defined because of it. In fact, if you noticed, Loam relatively recently got gloves added onto her model. We kind of kept this a little quiet. Had...
Wait. Go on.
Maybe. Yeah. We really didn't say too much about it. We decided the reason why was because similar to silhouetting, where we have to make sure the shape language makes sense, her color language was not making sense.
Oh, yeah.
Her hands were blending in too closely with her legs at most skins. And we had to add...
it was mainly her, main skin.
Right.
But we continued to make sure other skins didn't have that issue either.
Yeah. So, that's why we had gloves added for her. Normally, we wouldn't really go with gloves.
I fought those gloves for a while. I'm like, Logan doesn't wear gloves. What are you talking
Nick
about?
was really fighting the gloves. But, between Nick, myself, Kazoo, Marsh, and I think even several other members of the team were but it does look good, and it does get the language across. Nick finally okay, fine, we'll do it. And do it. So it takes a long time developing the right character design, even when you have the main character and you think, I know exactly how the character is going to look. Yeah, to the point, yeah, Kazoo was the one who brought it up the most, and I really agreed with Kazoo on that one, and we had Marsh take care of the design work for it. Now for the important question. Was it not wanting to be sued was the reason for the absence of Caramel Dancing?
Absence of Caramel
don't-
Dancing.
to referring to the Tomba intro, the Tomba loading screen. I mean, to be fair, we haven't even gotten to the loading screen for one. We haven't even came close to working on that. So, like, that's still not final product. But even then, we probably won't do that just because it is... Not that we could get sued for it. I don't know. It's not really... Wait, no. Okay, hold on. Tomba Club is...
I'm not quite sure what you're going on about.
Are you talking about my animation that I promised I'd do for it? That's separate from all this? So honestly, I'm lost right now. I mean, in the first demo, you Shake and she did the caramel dance. You know, bunny ears. Oh, okay.
Really? I thought I didn't really change that.
Well, to be fair, that was the old model with the old sprites. So, I guess we just never really thought about it. I guess we only have one dance, so we haven't really thought about adding more dances into the mix. So
No, I've been planning on adding more dances.
I don't think anyone really... Does anyone really own the copyright to Caramel Dancing? Is it like something that can get in trouble?
But I don't remember even dance being like really
I mean, to be fair, we're not too worried about it because, like, they could give us a cease and desist and we'll remove it. That's not the problem. That stuff happens all the time. But, I mean, we have the Sonic pose in for taunts, so...
I'm now looking to see if I have a GIF of that dance.
I mean, yeah, we probably can get away with it just fine. We honestly didn't even think about it till just now that we even had it in, if we even did. Like, I don't remember it. It's been, like, several years now. Well,
no,
let's
her
not...
dance doesn't change. It's still this. Well, no, that's still I'm sorry, that's still the newer model.
Let's not bog down the stream with this right now. We'll look into it and we'll might.
Bogging down. Just put a dancing loam on the screen. People love that. Liam, have you seen the marketing analytics? The first time I posted like a dancing loam on Twitter, I was like, it's okay, and everyone's like, ah!
Yeah, true.
Like, okay. More dancing alone it is.
No. That was a good question. Thanks for actually bringing that up. We'll actually. I'm not saying yes right away. That will be like something we have to like decide later on.
I was just thrown back because I mean it's been almost 2 years since that demo, but I'm like I don't remember the dance changing, so I was just a little bit like what?
Yeah, I honestly don't remember much of the dances. Like,
I mean it was a brand new. You know what? It was a brand new model I made after that.
yeah, I mean that can make some sense that we didn't see much. So yeah, that's a very good question, and I didn't think about it.
We will be looking into this better.
Yeah, again, like if anyone ever like got, if we ever got in trouble over it, it would just be a cease and desist, and we'd just remove it. It wouldn't matter too much. It's not like an integral part of the story.
So I have to pry it from my cold dead hands.
Nick, do you got spurs that jingle, jingle, jingle?
I don't, but I've been trying. I've been looking at getting them.
Okay. We're currently working on the jingle, jingle, jingle. I had to, I'm sorry.
Remember to hit that save button.
She keeps her head above her hands above her head and then sways left and right. Is it currently Ape Escape 3 OST?
The last one was, yeah.
Ah.
It was the Western theme.
Ah. I recently actually just played through Ape Escape 2 and 3. At least all the way through 2. I don't think I finished 3 again. I don't remember. But I still like Ape Escape 1 more. I like
Ape
what they
Escape
did.
1 is just the best one, really.
I like what 3 does. 3 is really good at what it does. 2 I feel is a problem. Not my favorite. I honestly was annoyed by it.
Careful, I don't need Ape Escape Discord on my stream. Discourse.
Well, it sounds like most people are generally agreeing with me on that said.
Well, they're wrong!
Ape Escape 2 has the biggest problem of second game syndrome.
Yeah.
It tries too hard and doesn't know what it wants to be. I have not played Pumpkin Primed.
Alright. You went a little bit lower than I expected.
I love the mini games in Ape Escape 1 a lot. Okay, so the mini games, they're good as tech demos. They're fun distractions, but they are not that.
That's basically what they're supposed to be.
I mean, that game was one giant tech demo, so the fact that it was even that great.
True. Yeah. When someone said this was basically just supposed to be a tech demo, I was like, "That's pretty good for a tech demo."
It's amazing for a tech demo, and I really appreciate it. And I love how it became way bigger than that. Hello, Hub. Welcome to the stream.
Yo.
Yeah, like Tomba 1 has some of the greatest liminal feeling. You have a weird sense of, especially the training rooms really gives that weird sense of like this is where you're gonna go when you die kind of vibe. I've had my ringtone for a long time. The Ape Escape one intro, or no, it was the alert sound. But then when I started playing Ape Escape again, I I kept on hearing my phone going off, so I decided to turn that off. That's a problem with like putting a favorite song
That's why I
for
just
that
don't
kind of
change
thing.
my ringtone. I was like, anything I want to hear is something I don't want to hear.
My old alarm for my for waking up in the morning was the J Bomber from Blast Corps, and it's such a great song, one of my favorites. But I had to just stop because then I ruined the song. I got a question for chat. Has anyone here ever 100%ed any of the Ape Escapes? It doesn't matter which one. Because that includes time trials.
Oh no, no, don't. Okay, the time trials are 200%.
Okay. I'm including the time trials in this argument.
No one does Ape Escape trials. I mean, I did the speed run of Ape Escape 3, or the speed run mode. But, nah. Which I guess was just one big time trial, huh?
I mean, yeah, it's just a big time trial. I can't do any of the time trials. I don't want to do it. You might be able to get me to do time trials for other games, but Ape Escape, any of them, it's just... At least, so you got the true ending at least. Okay, I've never actually gotten the true ending of any of the games. I feel kind of bad about that, but...
Or shame.
I know. It's just when I get to the end, I'm usually, that's it, I'm
It's
done.
It's not even the end. It's not even like the true ending, it's just the ending. You didn't get,
Yeah.
It's not the true ending, it's the ending. You got the bad ending.
It's not the bad ending. It doesn't really matter. That's the thing. When it comes to Ape Escape games, like, oh, well, you didn't get the good ending. Oh, you mean the ending where you capture all the apes, and then the next game everyone escapes anyway?
There's always a bad ending. Okay. You have a point there.
The good ending is just the same. I'm sorry, but that's just the facts. If 100% 2 third characters in Prompt and Prime, some missions are time-based, does that count? I mean, that's up to you if you want to count it. Technically, I wouldn't really count it if it's not all the characters.
Oh yeah, I forgot Prompt and Prime had multiple characters. Can you play as Natalie in that one?
I think you could even play as Cassandra. You need to get Spectre back to the monkey part so he can escape again for the next game. Now, one game I have 100%ed is both the Tomba games. And Tomba Club can tell you the ending for the ending for Tomba 2. You have the full thing is so weird. Okay, try completing the time trials in Raft Race and Pumpkin Prime, like with Ape Escape 1 Raft controls. Ooh. Oh no, I never played it. Okay, Tomba. Sure. Ape Escape 1 Raft controls is some of the worst things I've ever played.
Oh, raft.
No. Have you ever gotten the raft to work right?
Yeah.
Because all the time I'm just barely making it
I mean,
work.
I don't disagree. It's really bad. It's not great. Why did I do this twice?
You say you get the most epic thing in Tomba 2, 100%. You say that, but it lasts for 5 seconds, and he gets rid of it.
He does.
He wears it for 5 seconds, and then he strips it off.
I could easily do that in DoubleShake. Give Lum like a suit.
I just love the conversations going on. Everyone's talking about the raft controls and everything else. Having to learn those controls, yeah. I was recently talking about Spyro gameplay, and I decided randomly to go back to my my Spyro Reignition trilogy set. I was like, I should really finish off the third game. Let me get back into that. I get back into it. I've already completed it, and I realize, wow, I like Spyro. I love its atmosphere. I love the music. It's really good. It honestly does not leave an emotional impact on me whatsoever. And that's kind of weird. As much as I tried to remember that game, I can't remember any 3 of the games. There's only like a few areas that I can remember.
I know someone who's probably just like feeling that through the cosmos and just like, why do I get this really bad feeling right now?
Like, I feel bad because I really do like Spyro in general, and there's nothing I really hate about Spyro, but I can never, like, mentally, like, keep it in my subconscious.
It doesn't vibe with you as much, so that's fine.
Oh, no, but it vibes really good with me. That's the weird part.
True, yeah.
I don't know how to put it. Like, that's just it. I mean, everyone has those games that you could generally like and enjoy, but then as soon as you put it down, you forget what you did.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And unfortunately, that's just where I am with Spyro.
I have a lot of fond memories of Spyro.
What about the Legends series?
Legends? Which ones?
Spyro Legends?
Oh, yeah. Keep forgetting those exist.
Well, there you go. There's your answer. I never really played. I think I played. Honestly, the one Spyro that I remember the most was a DS one, and the only reason I remember it because it had a really fun micro game a puzzle that you had to do. That was like light bending puzzle for crystals or something. And the fact that at the end of the game you get Cinder, and you could play the whole game as Cinder. And that's the only thing. I don't remember the game's name. I don't remember anything else. Someone's Hub says that's how I feel with Virtual On. That game never saw the light of day after PlayStation 2 with VO Mars. Oh. Blade says, I assume that games I love but forgot about is something I can't remember right now. Yeah. Mentally, I connect more with Crash. Like, I could remember Crash Bandicoot, but I can't beat those games. I'm not. I was too young to be able to beat those games, and now I'm too old to beat those games.
I did pretty good with Crash 2 and 3, but I could never really do 1.
Crazy Frog Racer 2 for PlayStation 2. Okay, now we're going into some topics right there.
Where are we at right now? We're an hour and a half in. I think I'll take a little break.
Yep. All right.
It's been taking. I think in the end it's taken a little bit longer than I expected.
Well, we could separate this out to another an extra stream if you need to.
It's going really well.
Honestly, looking good. So, before we go, please explain why you have the arm separated from the model right now.
Well, so normally you want to T-pose things, especially in a way that's straight down. But unfortunately, I kind of made him with this. Kind of like drew him to have this as like his default thing. And like I can't do this as well. I guess I'll probably do that, but that's probably actually the best way to do it. Something like that.
Yeah. It's because his shoulder parts are really, yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying to be a Rayman. You could still do a little bit more of an A-frame pose. It'd be just fine.
Well, it's when it comes to like, when I actually like rig him, this will be like his default, something like this. But like when I'm modeling it, I want this to be straight, so it's just a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Ugh.
All right. We'll take a short break.
I don't think we're gonna get to texturing tonight.
How much more do we have to do?
I need to do his hands, but those are also
Okay.
pretty deep. Well, oh, and he has little back flowers. Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna probably have to put texturing to another stream. That's perfectly fine. We kind of assume that adjust for time accordingly. So about 10-minute break,
I'm trying to think.
or do you want to just continue?
Yeah, it's mostly just in a sense that so I don't like end up hurting my wrists.
Yeah.
It's just admittedly it's just getting to the point where it's like, maybe I'm getting a little bit tired from doing this.
We could just call it here for tonight. And
I think that's
do
actually gonna be
another-
the safest thing to do.
Yeah. Okay. So we're just gonna go ahead and call it for tonight's stream, just to make sure that he doesn't.
Yeah, he's a little roserade. I'm not gonna deny that, but.
So we'll continue on with the second stream where we continue finishing up his model shape and then his texturing afterwards, and then another stream later for everything else.
Texturing. So the fun part is that texturing is not a long process for me. Oop. Yeah, it's just
No.
my night long too. Yeah. So we should be able to actually get. Yeah, we'll definitely at least get texturing done next stream.
And the good part is that's where a lot of your
That's where things get interesting.
yeah, that's where you definitely want to see that part. You're gonna like that part. So, all right, thank you guys so much for coming out. Really appreciate it. It's honestly really happy to see everyone here. If you haven't already, check out our game on Steam demo right now. Just have fun, and everyone have a good time.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. This is a really good stream. Really enjoyed it.
All right, we'll end whenever you press end, Nick. Bye-bye!
Have a great night.